Good morning. I'm Leon Thomas, and you're here for NRG this week. I'm going to be joined by NRG President and CEO Mike Weiner. We're going to talk all things networking, all things NRG, right here on NRG this week. Here we go. Welcome to NRG this week. Again, I'm Leon Thomas. NRG. We're here Wednesday mornings now at 8 a.m. We're not here Monday morning, so don't look for us next Monday. Right here, Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock. I'm Leon Thomas. We're here with Mike Weiner. Mike, how you doing? What's happening? Good, Mike.
Man, I am doing awesome, Leon. Wednesday morning, our new time. How are you doing, my friend?
Everything is groovy. I'm doing well. Couldn't be better. So here's the thing, Mike. Let's jump right in and we'll talk about some of those things that people say we're not supposed to talk about, like the Ravens and Orioles. We'll talk about that later. So, Mike, here's the thing that I want you to help with this. I want you to help us with is this. When folks hear the term business networking, and business networking organization, business networking groups. There are a lot of them out there, and there are still some folks that don't understand the benefits of belonging to a networking organization like NRG. So tell us, what are the benefits of belonging to a networking organization?
That's such a great question, Leon. There's so many benefits. I'm just going to touch on a couple of them. Obviously, the referrals, being able to get together with like-minded people. You're all there to grow together. It's tough being a lone ranger and doing it yourself. You never know who knows somebody at a company, and it's who people know, and it's access. People give you access. It's education. Different speakers can come in, they can educate you. Things are so differently on them when we were in sales 20 years ago. You got social media, you've got, LinkedIn. I mean, there's so many social media platforms. You've got motivation. I have a gentleman in one of my groups, he's in his 70s, and he comes just to get motivated, to be around like-minded people. There's inspiration. People will come in and go, hey, before we start, I wanted to thank so and so. It's all about referrals. It's about being in a positive culture, but it's the networking, it's the education, it's the inspiration, it's the motivation. I know they say, motivation is self motivating, but let's face it, we can all feed off of each other and we can all educate each other and get better. So I think it's important to understand networking. It's not just the referrals, it's being in a positive culture and growing with like-minded individuals who all want to see you succeed together.
No, Mike, it's interesting that you mentioned LinkedIn and the idea of social networking. I think that when social networking came about, that many folks thought that because they had an account, a profile, a page, that business would start coming that way. And some still think that just because you have a website, that business is just going to come running your way. And that networking, as in talking to others, getting referrals from them, helping others get business, is not needed. I talked to someone earlier this week who said, um, well, I have 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. And I said, great. And I looked at that person's LinkedIn profile. They haven't posted, said anything in 8 months, but I have the page. And so, one of the things that I think is when you go to belong to a networking organization, is that you're going to see people over and over again. They're going to get to know you and build the relationship with them. And it actually could be more powerful than any social media platform out there.
You're totally right. And I can give you a quick story while you were talking about that. There is a member, Leon. who has referred about 15 people to me through a warm three-way text introduction with his credibility. And out of those 15 people, 14 joined. I do an experiment every once in a while. I was on LinkedIn over the weekend. I invited 40 people, 40, and four of them said they would come to a meeting. One guy showed up. So that's one out of 40. Put that in baseball terms, that's not a pretty good average. So again, it's the quality. You have to have a website to be in business. You have to be on LinkedIn, but that doesn't give you a declaration that you're going to get business from it. And when this guy introduces me to someone, I know for a fact they're going to come to the meeting and they're probably going to join. So it's about the warm referral. If you want to do cold calls, go sell copiers. I did 50,000 cold calls back in the day. And I'd get, what do they say? Even a squirrel gets a nut one time or sometimes. But if you're utilizing the group right with referral partners like I do, you're going to get a lot more success. And it's not so frustrating. And, sales, it can give you a bad name, but if you're doing it right, it's fun, it's liberating, and it's exciting.
Mike, let's talk specifically about NRG. Tell us when someone comes to an NRG meeting, you have this thing called pinball. Take a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and tell us what pinball is and what's the benefit of someone coming to joining in via Zoom on an NRG meeting and doing this pinball. Explain that to us, please.
Absolutely. Pinball I created in January 2001, which was the month that I started NRG. P stands for Power Partners. So it's industries that refer you to your business. So if you're a health insurance person, probably you're going to get referred by a CPA, a lawyer, other types of insurance folks, property and casualty. The I is industry. And what I ask someone when they come to the meeting, I'm like, what are the last five industries you sold? And they'll tell us mortgage, IT, real estate, construction, whatever it is, restoration. So then we're able to dig in there deeper and be real specialized on who we're going after. They also tell us what industries they haven't done business with. And then through our warm referral network, we have the ability to access that and help them. N is named account. So you want to target the Baltimore Orioles, you want to target McCormick Spice in Hunt Valley, Maryland. By doing that, it lets the other members know that you're serious about your networking, and then people can warm things up. The three-way text intro, it by far, I've trained people on that, and people that are much older than me, more experienced than me, they're like, this is a great system because it warms things up. When I get a new member in, when they pay their 500 and they secure their spot and they get their three referrals at the meeting, generally I do 15 to 20 three-way text intros for them within 24 hours. And people are blown away by that. I'm here to serve and help, and that's what I do. So it's all about connections, access. Pinball works. I've done it for almost 24 years now. At the end of this year, it'll be 24 years.
To get more information about Network Referral Group, you can go to nrg.online and you can contact Mike. His email address is mike at networkreferralgroup.com. And you can also reach out to Mike via text or old fashioned phone call at 443-756-9656. Now, Mike, let's look advanced at the calendar. Let's look into October in the calendar. Understand that something hot is happening on Thursday, October 20th. You will be speaking, and I think the title is Creating Massive Momentum for Your Organization. Tell us what's happening on the 20th and give us a little sneak peek of that presentation that you're going to be giving.
Leon, I pulled out all the stops to bring this speaker in. His name is Mike Weiner. He's a crazy, fun-loving guy. It's going to be
Is he
amazing.
kind of a tall, short guy? Is that Mike Weiner kind of a tall, short guy?
Nah, he's
No?
tall, he's handsome, he's got a lot of hair for almost a 58-year-old
Oh,
Leon.
that
You know,
guy.
that guy, right? Not this short little guy that you see in the comedies or whatever. But nah, this I've spared no expense, Leon, to bring in Mike Weiner, the dynamic Mike Weiner. And seriously, it is going to change your. It's my favorite topic. I do it every October. October is Mike Weiner birthday month. Just give you a little sneak ahead, and we're going to talk about you need to get your attitude right. That's got you're not going to go anywhere without attitude. Attitude controls your altitude, and you know what? You got to be right with you. It's going to be a little bit about law of attraction. How do you get to the highest frequency? It's love and being grateful. And I'm going to talk about what you can do on social media. I'm going to talk about how you reach out to family and friends. I'm going to talk about your networking group. But you know what? October signifies fourth quarter. And that's why I like to do this because now is the time to create massive momentum. But I've spoken on 85 different subjects over the years. This is my favorite. You definitely want to come out and see this guy October 20th. Again, I've spared no expense to bring him in, and it'll be on Zoom. You'll have information at nrg.online. You don't want to miss this guy. Every once in a while, he'll have a funny joke. He's funniest when he's not trying to be funny. When he tries to be, it's not like Adam Sandler. It doesn't roll over real well, but you definitely want to come out. You want to take notes. And I've had people still talking about this event. Dr. Z, a year later, and we had him on his call with us, Leon, still talking about creating massive momentum. So if you want to take your business to the next level, this is a can't miss event.
All right, and again, that's Thursday, October 20th. At what time, Mike?
It's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern.
At
So
2
figure
p.m.
out your
Eastern.
time zone. Everybody should be wide awake by then, Leon, even on the West Coast.
Well, even let's think about it. Even if they're in Hawaii, what time is it in Hawaii when it's 2 o'clock Eastern? What time? What time is that?
I don't know offhand. I know Australia is like 13, 14 hours ahead. Our
So
last extravaganza, Sophie came from Australia. It was 3 a.m. And but you create
and
loyalty when you work together as a
yes,
family, and that's what we
absolutely.
we basically become.
And folks, if you want to get more information about the event that's taking place on Thursday, October 20th, you go to nrg.online or you contact Mike directly. His phone number is 443-756-9656, or you can email Mike at mike@networkreferralgroup.com. Mike, we have about 1 minute remaining. Let's talk about the sore spots in our lives. And by the way, you see that watch right there? Right? That's a Timex Ironman watch. And do you know folks laughed at me earlier this week on another show for wearing this watch? I mean, why would they laugh at my watch? It's an orange watch, which means I'm an Orioles fan, but I don't have too much to cheer about right now. And then our Baltimore Ravens, Mike, they go ahead.
I was giving you a statistic before the show, Leon. The last 710 games where a team was winning by 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, they won. The Ravens screwed that up. Their defense was I don't know. You and I need to suit up for next week. If we are not here doing this show, Thomas and Weiner are the new cornerbacks or safeties. We may, you know what? We'll probably get busted and we'll probably be on injured reserve for 5 years, but it would be worth it if we can get a little guaranteed one game contract, Leon. I could see you and I back there, and hopefully we can communicate better. It was when they were driving down on that last touchdown. I knew we were smoked. I knew it was over, and we've got to get a running game. I'm praying that J.K. Dobbins comes back because they've got to get a running game. Their defense was hosed. And you know what? Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, I don't think we realize how great they were. They kept those defensive teams together. And we've got to get back. If I were Harbaugh, I'd bring Lewis and Ed Reed into that dugout. Dugout, that's a baseball term. Into the locker room and talk to them and get them straightened out. I think you need a little dance from Ray and a little, I mean, what two better defensive players? And that's the sad part because Ravens are always been about defense, and it did not show up in the fourth quarter.
Well,
Did not.
all right. That's over. As in business, it's over. It's done with. Let's move forward to next week. Mike, we'll see you next week. And if you want to be a guest on NRG this week, send Mike an email. His email address is mike@networkreferralgroup.com. Give him a call at 443-756-9656. Mike, thanks for being here for another edition of NRG This Week. All right, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time at NRG This Week. Here we go.